Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin. Hope that you're having a fabulous day today. Betsy Tinnervin with Tampa Bay Investments, out here representing LPT Realty. And I know that we have religious listeners, and you are not going to believe who I have in the studio today. I have Travis Doodles. What's going on, Travis?
Thank you for having me.
And Travis has a non-for-profit that supports the Tampa Bay community. It is called Worth and Purpose, correct, Travis?
Yes. Yep.
And when you guys hear Travis's story, all of our LPT agents trying to find marketing, branding, doing things on the internet, this is going to be super helpful for you. And anyone out there in the Tampa Bay community that wants to give back to our community and wants to donate to a non-for-profit, Travis's non-for-profit is phenomenal. So basically, correct me if I'm wrong, Travis, you literally like quit your corporate job.
Yes. Had
zero plan and now are a YouTube influencer.
You could say that. Yeah.
Like
I hate the word influencer, but you know, I'm a content creator. I make videos and I run a nonprofit.
And so just in a short 6-month period, like talk about just a couple facts, because I obviously want to engage these people and let them know what type of real plug I have on the show today.
Wow. That's an honor to be here. Thank you. Okay. So long story short, because it's like a 10-hour story, but we'll wrap it up for the radio. Basically, in 2011, I was a YouTuber.
Okay.
And I was doing artwork, and my friend would rap about anything that I painted. And we did really good. We got good traction. We got millions of views, and a lot of celebrities were reaching out to get artwork done and stuff like that. I was on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Woo woo.
Oh yeah, all types of stuff.
Was that
like
fun?
That. It was fun. He flew us out, and we did that. But that stuff doesn't really matter, like, to me. Like, it was a cool achievement, right. But it didn't really. You know, it doesn't matter.
The likes don't make you who you are.
That stuff does not make me happy, and it doesn't make anybody happy.
Right.
So basically, I was a YouTuber, though, and in 2013 is when I really started getting traction, and I landed a reality show with MTV. So I thought,
what was that like?
That was crazy. We went out to LA. We filmed like 3 months straight, 10 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And what was the show?
So it was called Dream Bigger, and it was about my artwork, videos, all the stuff that I was doing. And I got a real good taste of the entertainment industry, behind the scenes, all the crazy stuff that people do to become famous. And I realized very quickly I want nothing to do with this. And basically what happened was the show did not air. They shelved it because I was too clean cut. I didn't party.
You want enough drama,
There was no drama. Yeah, it was kind of crazy how bad they were trying to like push me to do certain things that are completely out of my character. So I just said, this is not for me. But what's funny is, though, they actually aired the show like a year later. Like, I guess they just kind of put it out randomly because somebody screenshotted it and they're like, is this you? And I was on MTV.
You're on MTV.
My producer didn't even tell me. They just put the show out, and so. But anyway, it didn't do anything like I was promised. Where oh, you're gonna be a household name. We're gonna do a spin-off show. Blah blah blah.
And just think about that, like the people that actually step outside their character for fame. And are like super over promised and under delivered.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is like a global issue right now. On the internet, so just while you're in the midst of this story, it's like everybody out there, even in real estate, people are so into like the hype, and they hide behind the screens and they hide behind the text messages. Yep. And in reality, they don't build any real relationships with people.
No. Yeah. It's chasing the wind.
For sure.
It's It was
So we
awesome.
have a show. You go film this show. You're kind of doing like the celeb life. You're not really drama enough, hype enough. You give that up. The show ends up still airing. Then you come back to Tampa.
Yeah. So basically what happened was the show took so much time out of my schedule that I kind of let my YouTube channel go. So my following kind of drifted away. And
at that time, how many followers did you have?
I wasn't crazy big on YouTube. I mean, I had like 40,000 subscribers,
Okay.
but I had millions of views and the right viewers to get me, to do it full time, basically.
Okay.
So, I had a pretty good name on YouTube. Like, people knew me as the artist type of thing. And after I kind of had a bad experience with MTV, I just deleted all my social media. I just said, I don't want to do this. This is not for me. And I went back to barbering, just living a simple life, cutting hair,
Being a barber.
Yeah, 9 to 5, and I was so happy. Just go home and
you were a barber in Tampa.
I was a barber in Plant City.
Oh, in Plant City.
Right outside
Okay.
of Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But I always made videos on the side though, so I started a little like side hustle of just freelancing, doing commercials for local businesses and stuff like that. And basically, fast forward, this guy in Tampa, I don't need to name his name, but he was wanting me to be his basically exclusive videographer, where
Okay.
kind of like a Gary Vee type of guy, talking head videos about business, and he's got a very successful business, and he hired me to be his personal videographer.
You were his hype man.
Pretty much. Yep.
You were the guy that made him look good. You were the hype man.
Document all of his business meetings and just everything that he was doing. And he lived a very flashy lifestyle. I mean, we're talking Rolls Royces, private jets. Like, it was it was a very rich lifestyle.
Yeah.
And for me, nothing wrong with that stuff, but that's just not me. I don't really care about that stuff. Even if I had millions of dollars, I wouldn't want that. It's just not something that I've ever really had a desire for. So I'm working for him, and we start making these videos. And I said, since you have a lot of money, why don't we start doing like giving videos and stuff? And he was like, well, I don't really have time to do that. I'm too busy running the company. Why don't you just go do it? So he kind of gave me some cash, and then I would just go kind of do what I wanted to do. I'd go just bless people, pay for their groceries, pay for their gas, stuff like that.
That's so cool.
And the videos just started going viral, like 20 million views. People were stealing the videos, re-uploading to their channel. It'd get 47 million views, like crazy traffic. And I was like, holy cow. And, I thought it was cool and all, but like it still didn't align with who I was, because it was just going back to him and kind of talking about business and Lamborghinis and all this stuff that, like I said, nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't my message. Like, my message is my faith and God and all that. So I felt like I was kind of having just an issue where
you were
I'm like,
having a midlife crisis.
yeah, I was like, man, like
you were genuinely like, okay, so this is my passion, but this is my purpose, and then this is my vision. So like, what do I do with that?
right. Yeah.
And that's a lot of entrepreneurs go through that.
yeah.
I mean, that's like a big issue too, like the internet, and then like finding your vision and finding your purpose, because a lot of things that we have to do today that make us money and feed our families is not our passion.
Right.
It's what we do, but it's not our passion. So like when you can actually like mesh and merge together passion and purpose, you are booming.
Winning.
You are #winner.
Yeah.
So that's what we were trying to find, right? We were like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. This is working. Now I'm back. I mean, obviously, whether it was God or whoever it was drove you back to like the videography. I mean, obviously that was something that you did that was good.
Yep.
And that generated income for you and that you were passionate about.
Yep.
And then you throw in this whole giving piece, and now you're merging passion and purpose.
Yes. Well, I've always considered myself a pretty giving person, but the way this whole thing really unraveled was, besides the fact that I didn't want to be at this job anymore, I had a conversation with a friend, and we had that typical conversation that friends have where it's like, oh man, when my business blows up and I'm rich, I'm going to give back and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, and it's like, if you're not giving now with the little that you have, you're not going to give when you have a lot. Like, all money does is it just exposes who you are.
100%.
So if you're not giving now, you're most likely not going to be giving when you're rich. And I just felt real heavy on my heart after that conversation, that God was kind of like, well, start doing it now. And I was kind of like, oh man, like I don't have the money to really make the impact that I want to make, but little things matter. They really do. So that kind of was laying heavy on my heart. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. And I just said, okay, I'm quitting my job. And the videos were going so viral that I was making for him that he bumped my pay up to like 150,000. So I'm like, oh man, that's the most money.
So if anyone wants to know about how Travis went from $150,000 a year job into being a huge YouTube influencer while giving back to our community, they're going to have to come back for segment 2 because we're about to take a commercial break and pay some bills. But I do want everyone to know, and we'll say this multiple times throughout the show today, if you would like to give back, and we'll explain how you do that and what it goes to, you can go to Travis Doodles, DOODLES.com. And Travis, what I want to dive deep into, so everyone better come back after the break, download that iHeartRadio app, pop in those earbuds, is what you did when you quit your job.
All right.
And we're going to go ahead and pay a couple bills. Again, we appreciate everyone listening. We hope you're having a fabulous weekend, and we will catch you after the break.
The best comp plans ever in stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless, because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home. And we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say, have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, with the Tampa Bay Investments team. I am representing LPT Realty. Our one and only Robert Palmer allows this show to be produced for everyone in Tampa, and we bring you the raw and the real of real estate. We bring you content about entrepreneurship. Today, I have an amazing human being here, not just a person, but also a business owner, Mr. Travis Doodles, with Worth and Purpose.
Yes.
That is his non-for-profit. He gives thousands and thousands of dollars throughout our community, and he generated all of the funds through YouTube videos. So we're giving you tons of $1 million tips on branding, content, being an entrepreneur. So in the first segment, he talked about how he got started. We basically were in a place where he was making $150,000 a year. He's been to Cali. He's been on MTV. He's been on Jay Leno. He got out of that life and started doing some work here. And the point of the story that we're at, Travis, is you literally quit this $150,000 a year job. So what was the plan?
Yeah. So I didn't have one.
There was no plan, kids.
No.
There was no plan. There was no nothing. He was like, I'm just going to be an entrepreneur. And now we also were at a point in the story where you found passion and purpose.
Yes.
The videography stuff that you love, that you're good at. Got kind of like your artsy vibe and all of that on the side, and your creativity. And then you wanted to give back.
Yeah. So I quit the job making $150,000 a year, and I had a little bit in savings, but I wanted to just continue to make videos. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get back on social media. So I was off social media for like 10 years. I'd maybe post.
So when you cancel your YouTube channel, it deletes all your subscribers.
Oh, it deletes everything.
So you had to start over.
Yeah, I started over.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
I started from the bottom, and now we're here. Yeah. Yeah, I started a new Instagram, new Facebook, all that. And basically, I just said, all right, well, I'm going to make these giving videos where I'm going to empty out my bank account, and I'm just going to go bless strangers. It feels good. I love helping people. I love documenting it because I like making videos, and I'm just going to see where it goes.
And you focus on a lot of homeless. I feel like.
Yeah, no, definitely. I build a lot of relationships with homeless people. Lately, I've actually been doing a lot with like just blessing street vendors and people at the markets and random people paying their groceries, stuff like that. But I've always had a heart for homeless people for sure. So right now, I'd say it's almost like 50-50. But in the beginning, it was heavily homeless.
So let's talk about where we're at today. Now we have a YouTube channel.
Right.
We have how many subscribers?
We're going to hit 600,000 subscribers this week for sure.
And you're gaining about 200,000 a month.
Yeah, about 200,000 a month. Last month I did 60 million views on YouTube alone.
60 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope all the listeners hear that. Travis had 60 million views on YouTube.
Yep. And then I have TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
And what about TikTok? Where are we at with that?
TikTok, I'm almost at 400,000 followers. Facebook, I'm at like 435,000. And then Instagram's the hardest one to grow. I'm at like 135 right now.
Okay. And so basically now you use the money that you get from TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube to kind of pay your family's bills.
Yeah. I do specifically shorts right now, which everyone is competing, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for shorts creators, because ever since TikTok took over, now YouTube and Facebook and Instagram want to compete. So they're juicing up the algorithm for shorts. So if anybody wants to get more viewership, shorts is what you need to focus on right now for sure.
Okay.
For sure. And now they're starting to change the payout, because shorts doesn't really pay that well. I mean, as many views as I'm getting.
I know. I got a thing on Facebook that was like, Facebook wants to pay you for your reels.
Yeah.
I think you got like 2 cents or something crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you tap out at $1,200 a month for reels on Facebook, no matter how many views you're getting, which is still decent. But if you were doing long form content and I was pulling those numbers, I mean, I'd be clearing over $100,000 a month easily.
Okay.
But now in 2023, YouTube is going to try and take out TikTok, and what they're doing is they're going to start paying their shorts creators. So, yeah, like long form content almost. So it's like the money is going to skyrocket from viewership on YouTube if you're a shorts creator. So that's exciting for me. Not that I want to like get rich and buy a mansion, but the fact that money in the right hands is a good thing. So I'm going to be helping a lot more people. I'm going to be, I want to buy people's cars, houses. Like I want to be like the Christian Mr. Beast. Like I just want to take it to the next level.
So basically, again, you use like the money to pay your personal bills from what the station, I call them stations, platforms.
Yeah.
The platforms pay you, but then you also raise through those platforms the money to give.
Right.
So like how much money have you raised that you have like 100% donated?
So I'm very transparent about money, because I run a nonprofit and I don't care. Like I want people to know where the money goes.
Yeah.
So right now I have a very low salary as far as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm making about $4,000 a month. Okay. Now that will go way up after they change all of the pay system and all that stuff. But as far as donations go, I give away 100% of the donations that come in. So I live off the views, and then anyone that donates the money, I put it right back out to the community. Okay. So like last month, we raised about $20,000. Boom, goes right back out. I mean, so people are like, oh man, that's a lot of money. And, but so much stuff happens off camera. Like when I get a homeless guy off the street, like it costs $10,000 or more dollars. Like it ain't like you give him $500 and then he's on his feet. Like you're rehabbing him. You're putting him in the motel until you can find more permanent housing. Like this stuff is not cheap. So people think, oh, people are donating $20,000 a month. But like so much stuff happens off camera, and like this is a real ministry. This ain't just YouTube videos. So it's a big undertaking.
Travis Doodles just wants everyone to know this is real.
This is real.
This is real. This is real life.
It's heavy on your heart when you're watching people go through certain things and helping them get off the street. Like this is not just make somebody feel good in a 30-second highlight reel on a YouTube video. Like that's what people see, and they're just like, oh, you're so lucky you just make YouTube videos. And I'm like, bro, I'm with some of these people. Like,
yeah, it's crazy to me. I want to talk about some of these videos because, like, I know some of these people now.
Yeah.
Lloyd, Jack.
Yep.
Like, I see you walk up to Jack, who's, homeless, and you're like, hey, what's going on, Jack? You weren't here last week. Or, hey, Lloyd. So what's funny to me is that a lot of people jumped on the, hey, I want to give, or I want to do pranks, or I want to do whatever just to get views. But like you get to know these people.
Yeah, I'm building relationships. That's my number one goal in what I do is I want real relationships. Yeah, I have a lot of one-off videos where I'll just go and bless somebody. But like I am in these streets, like really building relationships with the community. And I want to change the community and change these people's lives.
And I think you took Lloyd to a Bucks game.
I did. That was incredible. Yeah. Lloyd, he was homeless. I became his friend, and then he started working, and then I started him a little car detail business, and then I took him to a Bucks game. We just got him permanent housing, like literally changed this guy's life. And he's on cloud nine, and he just has never had like a real friend to just pour into him and be there for him. And it's just amazing to watch. And the fact that I make videos, I get to capture it all, and it inspires millions of people. And it's so much fun.
And so basically you just walk up to Lloyd, you meet Lloyd, and then you help him with this like car detail business. But then talk about when you handed him the Bucks jersey.
Yeah, he had no idea. He thought that I just bought him a Bucks jersey because he likes the Bucks. And then I said, yeah, put it on. We're going to the game. and he got on the Jumbotron. Like, it was like the best day ever. It was just perfect.
Just to see him be able to like experience that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It made his year.
Yeah. And he'd never been to a game ever.
Never been to a game.
So like imagine being homeless on the streets and you have somebody like Travis walk up to you and not only just spend time to talk to you, but like time to get you like back out and realizing there's a reason to live, and there's life, and there's purpose, and there's things. And, you know, money can be replaced, you know, Bucks games can be replaced, but it's all about like the friendship. Like he says in the video, and only one person's made me ever cry on the show, Travis, so don't be getting me emotional. Yeah. But he says on the video, because I like to get to know the people I'm going to have on the show and what they do. And so I went through and watched some of your stuff. He says on the video, like, you're like my real friend. Like, Travis, you're like my real friend. Like, how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's just awesome because the whole, point of my nonprofit is to let people know that they have worth and purpose. That's why I called it that. And I just want people to feel the love of God. And I want people to know that they are loved and they are valued. And, life is worth living.
Well, if you are interested in donating to Travis Doodles' non-for-profit Worth and Purpose, you can go to Travis Doodles, DOODLES.com. 100% of those proceeds are donated back to people in the Tampa Bay community that may need assistance, help, or just a blessing randomly. I love what Travis is doing. I know that we talked a little bit about what he did with YouTube and branding himself. In segment 3, you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to dive deep into that and help all potential entrepreneurs out there just kind of learn some of those tips and tricks and techniques that took him 15 years to figure out. This information is priceless. We're going to go ahead and pay some bills and take a commercial break, and we will see you after the break.
The biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these two models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career or what your goals are today, maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin with Tampa Bay Investments and LPT Realty. We are honored to have Travis Doodles here. If you were not a part of segments 1 and 2, be glad that you are listening, friends. He runs a non-for-profit in the Tampa Bay community called Worth and Purpose. And it is just a phenomenal story about how he became an entrepreneur, how he left social media, how he jumped back into being a huge influencer. Travis last month had 60 million views on YouTube. Correct, Travis?
Yes.
60 million. And everything he does is about giving back to the community. And so just to rewind, I love it when people say things at the break because it's like they're like now in their vibe and their element. And you said something really important that I want all entrepreneurs to hear, all of our agents listening, and just anyone in our community, that you had no plan when you quit this $150,000 a year job to go strictly into giving back to your community and being an influencer on social media. And so what happened?
Yeah, so when I got back on social media, I just was documenting my day-to-day life, and I felt like I didn't have a plan, but God put something on my heart, so I knew that it would work out. So I just started emptying out my savings account, and I just started giving away thousands of dollars a week to random strangers, and I would just document it. And, you know, it was getting to the point where I'm like, well, I don't know how I'm going to sustain this because, you know, I'm giving all my money away and I'm not working because I'm dedicated to making these videos every day. So I just felt like, you know, all right, well, the Bible talks about, you know, only test God when it comes to money. And I do believe heaven has a limitless bank account. So I said, all right, God, I need you to show up. And
If you actually, your quote was, if you're real,
God, then, you know, you're going to make this work because I trust you. And I've given you my life. So I believe this is going to work out. And so after we started the nonprofit, that just went through. And so basically, you know, if you donate, it's a tax write-off. So I felt pretty confident. I'm like, all right, well, maybe people will start giving towards that. Well, anyway, one of the videos went viral, and then people just blindly like started donating. Like, I don't even have an explainer video. Like, people just got the vibe from the videos like, okay, this dude is legit, which I am, but I'm saying like they just knew, like, man,
through the content you provide.
Yeah, I'm like, they're like, this guy is doing his thing and he's giving all the money away. Like, I want to support him. And it just took off from there.
What was that first month? Like, how much did you guys raise to donate?
Well, so this one video got like 15 million views, and it was, the link in the bio was for this homeless guy who we were trying to get off the street.
What was the video about?
So he was on the street and he had cancer and his wife was in a wheelchair, and it was just that, you know, that story where I was just like, man, this guy should not be on the street. And boom, $10,000 came in and we got him off the street, and he hasn't been back on the street since. Like, it's just.
And so you found him like an apartment.
Yeah, we found him more permanent housing, and then the check that he gets every month covers that. And, you know, and what's crazy is a lot of these people, you know, out here think that every homeless person is on drugs and they drink, and, you know, that's not the case. Like, I understand that there is a bad reputation out there, but, you know, the ones that I get off the street, like, I make sure, obviously, before I give money to them. Well, first of all, I control the money. Like, I have an account where, okay, I'm going to pay all your bills, because I'm not going to give anybody $10,000
right.
that's on the street, because that's just not smart for anybody. So I give them the money throughout the month, and when they need rent, when they need their food and all that stuff, and then when the money runs out, then they're on their own. But, you know, they always have a system set up that I help them where they're not going to end up back on the street, and it's been amazing.
And so how many people have you gotten off the street into permanent housing, help them find jobs?
Within the last month, 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to grow as the nonprofit grows, because right now we don't have the finances to do that.
Right.
But we're just in the beginning stages. So, you know, we're blessing a lot of people, but straight up life transformations off the street, it's been 3.
And then when you're blessing people, you just walk up to them. The videos are so cool. You just walk up to them and say, hey, I just wanted to give you this. And it's so cool when I watch some of them look at you and go, I can't take this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that won't take it.
Yeah.
Or don't want to take it.
What is your favorite story? Your favorite blessing? Something that like touched your life, moved you? Like, what's your favorite one?
I think Lloyd, probably. Like, he's the homeless guy that really just needed a friend. More than anything, more than money, more than a job, more than anything. He just needed somebody to love him and show him that he has worth. And then that just led to a friendship. And I mean, he texts me, I could show you my phone. He texts me like 8 or 9 times a day, just thanking me. Hey man, thank you for being in my life. And it's just crazy that you can have that much of an impact on somebody's life.
I love the ones too, where you just walk up to the guys that look like they haven't had a haircut in like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And you just get your whole cape out in the middle of the street.
Yep.
You have your electric,
cordless
clippers and how good they feel.
Oh yeah. A haircut can change your life. I mean, I hated barbering. I was a barber for like 17 years and I hated it. And now I love it. Now it makes sense that I get to use my gifts to help people on the street.
And you say stuff like, hey man, you sure you're going to let a stranger cut your hair?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would never let a stranger cut my hair.
Yeah, and they're like, yep, we're good. We're in.
Yeah.
And then like that's like just like so cool, like how good that you make them feel. As far as being an entrepreneur, like in doing the social media stuff, tell people like the do's and don'ts. Like, what should they not get caught up in? What is important? Like, how do they use it to be, you know, have a good brand and actually, because, you know, I think what's crazy is they call them influencers, right? And it was funny because I said something to you, you're like, I'm not an influencer. Yeah, you are. Like, you influence people to do the right things.
Right.
I think that where people don't want that stigma is when it comes to the wrong things.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the influencer that says you have to have a Lamborghini to have a purpose. I don't want to be the person that says, look at my private jet and that makes me who I am. But that's not who you are. You're influencing people in our community. You're influencing people globally through YouTube. So just talk a little bit about what it took you 15 years to figure out.
Yeah, it's more of just being authentic. Like that's the main key to success, because people can see right through it. If you're making these videos strictly to get views, I mean, it's going to come out. Number one, you're not going to be able to do it long term. And number two, like, it's just going to show. It's going to be cringy. I mean, I got a lot of haters, don't get me wrong, because I'm explicitly Jesus. Like, my content is definitely geared towards just loving God. And a lot of people don't like God. You know, it's as simple as that. But, like, they can't knock that the videos are real, and my heart is real, and I really want to help people. Like, it's real. So, you know, you have to be authentic, because I see all these people just kind of just chasing the fads or what they think will get views, and or what they think, you know, will get popular. And it's just like, no, like, you have to do what's on your heart and just be real. Like, that's the main thing. And then you'll get the real followers.
I think in real estate, you know, a lot of agents forget that, like, they are helping people.
Yeah.
You know, and when you have, you know, I had a family one time, it was a couple years ago, and I was selling a lot of real estate. And they were pre-approved at like 150. And like all I could find them was like a manufactured home. And like they had 3 little kids. And when I took them to that final walkthrough, and those 3 little kids saw that they got to like have their own bedroom, and like 2 of them had to share in this mobile home, and there was land for them to play and all of that stuff. It's like, those are the moments. And like you say, all the stuff that happens behind the camera, you know, those type of things happen. And so I know for myself that being in, you know, substance abuse counseling and in criminal justice, and, you know, trying to recidivate people into communities and stuff was my passion. And it was hard for me to find a purpose in real estate. And now Travis is actually going to be on the Invest Tour. Yeah. And it is January 14th. If you guys are interested in getting tickets, it is invest in yourself while investing in others and investing in real estate for financial freedom. It is going to be at Crossover Church, January 14th. You can text me and I will send you the Eventbrite link. We are doing early bird tickets. It's a full day with a lunch for $59. That is insane. And I have amazing speakers there. Every resource you need to invest in real estate, start a business. There will be tons of entrepreneurial resources there. Again, you can text me at 813-609-0229. And Travis is going to speak. He's going to drop a lot of gems on the same stuff we're talking about today as far as social media is concerned, giving back. You know, I think entrepreneurs forget too, Travis, that either you pay Uncle Sam or you donate. Yeah. Right? So for me, I can't wait to have the Invest Tour contribute to your nonprofit. You are going to be one of our first, you know, nonprofits that we give like a percentage to. We love what you're doing. And if anyone's interested in donating to Travis's nonprofit Worth and Purpose, you can visit Travis Doodles, DOODLES.com. Check him out on YouTube. You'll see lots of familiar places and spaces throughout Tampa Bay as he constantly is out in our community just touching people's lives. We really appreciate what you're doing. I'm so glad we have one segment left because I have enough time for the listeners to hear more of the good stuff that you have to share. But I will tell everybody before we pay a couple bills that connecting people in the community and bringing people in here is all due to LPT and our infamous founder, Robert Palmer. We love what we do. We will see you after the break. You are not going to want to miss our 4th segment with Travis. We will catch you after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, the one and only Betsy Tinervin with Tampa Bay Investments, bringing you the raw, the real of real estate and the raw and real of the Tampa Bay community. And if you have not looked up Travis Doodles on YouTube or you are just joining in, this guy had 60 million YouTube views last month, has a non-for-profit called Worth and Purpose, and donates 100% of what he raises for this non-for-profit to get homeless people off the streets, bless local vendors, cuts people's hair for free as he used to be a barber. I mean, this guy is a vibe. This guy is definitely a gift, and he has found purpose and passion in what he's doing. So like, I know at the break, we always say awesome things. And I just want to say kind of what I said to you, Travis, like, I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Like, I'm happy for you that you have found your purpose and passion. And I hope that today's show touched other entrepreneurs to know that you can still make like really good money and give back and have a passion in what you do.
Absolutely.
Because happiness is about doing what makes you happy. And this show is something for me that makes me happy. You know, we hit the Invest Tour once on segment 3, but you know, when the Invest Tour started, it was a vision that I had, right? And I was like, you know, I want to help my team because I want a real estate team. I want to get them people that want to invest, because them selling real estate is how they feed their families. And I am their leader, and they rely on me to provide leads. And it's like, we can do Google pay-per-click and we can do whatever. But my passion is speaking and touching people. And my biggest passion is being a catalyst and a connector. And how I met you was through Pastor Tommy.
Yep.
Who also, you know, Chris Lewis. Give a shout out to my boy,
Yep,
Chris. Chris Lewis was my guy. And I just want you to hear, like, I feel like we do so much of like bad reviews and different things. So I was talking to Chris about you, and Chris was like, man, Travis has always just been a good dude, man. Like, Travis is a good dude. And sometimes when you are an influencer or you're a leader and a speaker, people don't really like call me all the time and say like, yo, I need to check on you, or like, hey, what can I do for you? So part of the show today, I wanted to be about that. Like, Pastor Tommy with Crossover has a lot of respect for you, man. I told him how humble you were that I asked you to like speak on the tour. I'm like, dude, I'm honored to have Travis. Like, Travis is the dope man. Like, I love him. And that you're putting Jesus through everything is just so cool for me. So I just want you to hear that for what it's worth, you know, for me. And want all the listeners to know, just kind of from your standpoint, like how being an entrepreneur and what you're doing has kind of like changed your life.
It has drastically changed my life. And it's just, I believe that, you know, if anybody's supposed to be rich, it's supposed to be God's children, because we can change the world. All these Christians 100%. Have this mindset of like, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to be poor. And I don't believe that at all. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having nice things, you know?
At all.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, that's not my desire to have like the mansions and Bentleys, but there's nothing wrong with having nice things.
I think that goes back to also like your self-worth, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're on a super self-growth track, and, you know, we try to not like push politics or push religion on our show and just speak to people like in general, but like self-growth comes from everything.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and whatever that looks like for you.
Yep.
And so I think that when you know your self-worth, and to be like real raw and real with everyone listening, is that people see me and they're like, you're attractive and you're successful. And sometimes that creates a lot of loneliness, man. And for me, I've been in dark places of my life where I really didn't feel worthy of my success at all. And everyone else believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like lots of good things have happened to me this year because I'm very strong on my self-worth.
Right.
You know, what I'm worth an hour, what my time is worth. And then, of course, I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, helping people that I make no money off of. You know, I make no money doing this radio show. You know, like, I was thrown into this. This was a test dummy situation. And James, our producer, is probably laughing. Like, I had no training.
Right.
You know, and then I've brought all these people in from the community and watched these relationships grow and build. And somebody like you that's giving back, that's making Tampa Bay great. Like, that's awesome for me. And I make no money doing that. And off of the things that you do when you give back, then you have people that are like, yo, B, I heard this person on your show and I got somebody who wants to buy $5 million of real estate.
Wow.
And that's real.
Yeah, that's
huge. You know, that's like real deal.
Yep.
And so just for you too, I know what you said, like the bank account was down to zero and you were like, man, I've given all my money away. What's going to happen now? So I think that you've also found happiness.
Peace.
And if you can give any shout outs or advice to the people out there, just why that's important as an entrepreneur to find that.
Yeah, I mean, peace is everything. And I can't stress it enough. Things will never give you peace. You acquire all this money, you get all these cars and houses or whatever you're trying to get, and as soon as you get it, oh, that's it. It's happiness temporarily, but it's not true joy and peace. That when you hit your head on the pillow at night and you're like, wow, my life is complete. No car, no money, nothing will do that. Only God does that. That's it. There's no peace outside of him. And I am living proof of that. And anyone that is saying anything different, I don't believe them.
And I also think too, like just in the entrepreneurial world, there's just so much like negative, toxic stuff to get caught up in, like just people and relationships. I feel like what you're doing when you go meet with the homeless people and you really get to know them and you have a conversation with them, that is a blessing in itself. And it gives you a sense of gratitude. I think being thankful and having gratitude are two different things, right? Like I can say, Travis, thanks for coming. But when I'm really grateful that you're a part of my life and I'm really grateful, I teach a 30 days build your business, don't just be a realtor class, because I feel like realtors are entrepreneurs. They're 1099 employees. They have to build a foundation and build a business. And part of it, I tell people, I have this 12 minutes of gratitude, and I'll give a shout out to Ron Emerson, a guy I met at my CCIM class in Canada. And Ron is just a disciplined dude, man, and he has gratitude. He's like honestly thankful for the air he breathes, his 5 fingers, his 10 toes, not his car, not his house, not his bed, just that. Yep. I think that when you have gratitude and you're trying to be an entrepreneur, all the struggles make sense. All the days that really suck like make sense because you're like, yeah, but I woke up today.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, is that like, am I right?
100%.
Like, and that's what's like, man. And so I definitely think that, we could do some cool things. I want to get some things going with you for sure. I definitely want everyone to have a chance to buy early bird tickets to the Invest Tour. Again, invest in yourself while investing in others and invest in real estate for financial freedom. We hope to sell about 1,200 tickets for this event. It is going live. Early bird tickets are $59 for a full day. We have speakers flying in from all over the country who have a story, who had to find their purpose. They had a drug addiction. They had done time in federal prison. They maybe just were as simple as, Travis going to Cali and not wanting to live that lifestyle. Now everything he does gives back, and he's a big time influencer. We're going to have resources there, business credit people, attorneys, title companies, lenders, realtors, other entrepreneur resources. If you have another entrepreneurial business outside of real estate, they're going to be there. Like 20 vendors. Can you believe that, Travis?
That's a lot.
Like giving them just the golden ticket. Here you go.
Yeah.
And they can pay $59.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
Could change your life.
Could change your life for $59. The Invest Tour is going to be at Crossover Church. If you want early bird tickets, please text me 813-609-0229. And I have another secret, Travis. That there is going to be a $199 VIP ticket.
Ooh.
And you know about this.
Ooh.
And so anyone out there listening, we are only going to sell 100 VIP tickets. You will actually get to meet with Travis and all the speakers that are coming in that own real estate, that are entrepreneurs, that have overcome something in their life. And we're starting off 2023 doing that. So it's like, hey, new year, fresh start, clean slate.
Yep.
Jump in for $59.
You can't put a price on the connections that you'll walk out that door with. You can't.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And we're doing it at Crossover, which I love that. And I just want to tell you again, thank you. And also that I am grateful that Pastor Tommy connected me with you, because I think that we can do really big things in the community. I'm glad that you found passion and purpose, bro.
Thank you so much. Yeah, me too.
Like, I love that. And I think on the tour, you'll get to share that with other people and you'll get to network with some people. So I think you're going to be a huge blessing to the tour and be able to give back. If anyone wants to donate to Worth and Purpose, which literally gets homeless people off the streets in Tampa Bay, blesses our vendors, blesses our community, it is Travis Doodle, DOODLES. So Doodles, I apologize, .com. Anything else you want to say, Travis, real quick?
Thank you for having me.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it really was. I feel honored to be here.
I feel super honored that you were here. And I think that it's the littlest things. Like, you think you're going to go do a radio show, right? And it's almost like therapy, soul searching, all this crazy stuff happens. I took Travis deep on the show. Like, Travis, you're happy, you're this, you're that. But I love it. It's so great. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see what happens in 2023. We will have Travis back. And for all of our listeners out there, we want to thank you. Every show I've been giving a shout out to South Florida, Port Charlotte, Cape Coral, even down to Fort Myers. We love you. We're with you as you're rebuilding. We have not forgotten about you. LPT, you are on our hearts, minds, souls, and spirits, and we're praying for you. We hope everybody listens to us, downloads that iHeartRadio app, and we will catch you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinnervin.